everyone, it's Marnie Martin, and I am up in this beautiful fall afternoon up at Crescent Winery on the Skaha Bench in Penticton, BC. And I'm going to be heading in to talk to the winemaker and taste some wines. And we're also going to get out in the field and see what harvest looks like here at Crescent Hill. So grab yourself a glass of wine and I'll see you on the inside. So I'm up here at Crescent Hill this afternoon. You can see it's a beautiful fall afternoon and it is harvest time, mid-October. And I'm up here with Erich Smith-Peter, who's the head winemaker of Crescent Hill. And we're gonna go out into the vineyard and have a quick look around and see what is going on right before they pick. So show us around, Erich. Tell us what's going on.
Well, welcome to our organic vineyard. First off, I want to talk to you about the different kind of nettings that you can see. Maybe that would be the first question that pops in the minds of people that are looking at this. This is our Verdelais grapes. So we put some really white long nets because on these vines, actually what we're doing here is a Scott Henry style of growing. So you have, actually you can't really see right now, but you have a top two laterals or cordons, and also at the bottom we have two. So to be able to protect the grapes from the birds and deer and bear and pests like this, what we do is we have these beautiful nets that come all the way over and under, so that they don't eat all our grapes and we can actually harvest some to make wine. But yeah, if you would like to follow me, we are going to harvest the Gewürztraminer in the next 2 days, and I would love to show you around.
That'd be great, yeah. I'm glad I got here before you pulled it all off.
Yeah, you're about 1 day early, which is great.
Perfect
timing.
timing.
So you can see here we got some Riesling as well mixed in the whole thing, but what's very interesting about our vineyard is the organic aspect to it. And I can go through a little bit here with you some vine rows. But basically what we're trying to do here is, it's been 5 years I think we haven't been using any herbicides or glyphosate, but this year we went full on with even the sprays and all this to try to control our pressures with only organic methods. So I was explaining the different Scott Henry, which is the method of growing the vines for the Verdelais, but here in our Gewürztraminer you can see very beautiful purple coloration. The skins are very, very soft. They melt in your mouth right now. I'm very happy with this. But this here is called the VSP, or vertical shoot positioning, where we just grow the shoots upwards.
Beautiful.
We only have two laterals or two cordons. If you see, we also took the leaves off of the north side of our vines because when you're doing organics, it's really important to use the environment to try to control pressures as well. So by taking the leaves off from where the grapes are growing, we're letting the air through, some sun, you know, there's less spots where humidity can be trapped and encourage the growth of different molds. And yeah, we'll try this.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, also you can see the no herbicide, we use a technique where we just basically let our beautiful grass grow high in the more wet months, and then once we weed eat it all by hand, usually it gets dry enough that it doesn't grow back. So this year was a beautiful year, 2020, really good year for whites and reds, possibly even now. And it was really fun for us to go ahead 100% organic in a year like this to give us what would be the maximum work that we could do.
There we go. So there were some perks to 2020.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about the vines. You've got some grapes there.
Yeah, I'd like you to try this if you won't mind. I don't know how hard it is for you to do so, but I'm going to put some in your hand.
Thank you.
So we're going to pick all this tomorrow
yummy.
and Friday. And even the seeds, you can see the seeds are even kind of ripe. They're not very, very hard. They're kind of crunchy. Oh,
yummy.
Yeah, it makes a beautiful Gewürztraminer. Some of these vines are 45-year-old plus. They're really old vines. Glen Allen came over here and planted in the 70s, I think it was. But yeah, walking down here, you can see his vines are mostly old vines. Really beautiful. They're all on their rootstock, so they're not grafted on another type of rootstock. You can see like just this one here is a
humongous.
Look at that. And that really, because of the construction that we'll go see later on, you can see that we digged around some of our vines. And it was very interesting to see the fact that even if we went about 3 to 4 feet deep next to a vine, there was not really that many surface roots. So these guys are really, really deep in the soil. And I was surprised myself to see that, actually.
Wow.
I would have thought there would have been, 10 to 15% surface roots because of the irrigation they might have been doing. But no, we have really deep roots here. And the older the vine and the roots are deeper, you get a little bit more soil characteristics, which is really interesting for us. We have volcanic pumice, silt, till, sand, clay, and some of the glacier deposit, which is the silt. Yeah.
So how do those particular minerals and soil characteristics, how does that flavor the wine, in your opinion?
Well, I have to say that the wine and the Gewürztraminer, particularly from this spot, is very, very spicy and floral. Okay. And the lychee does come out in a way, but it's more going to be on that side of the spectrum of Gewürztraminer.
Okay.
More of that kind of spicy minerality, floral, white flowers, and it does have that exotic fruit.
Nice.
But that's probably from the soil content as well and how old the vines are. Yeah, we
Lovely.
could talk a little bit about viticulture if you want right now.
Sure.
What we have here is a system of 2 clusters per shoot, or 1, and that's to decrease the yield of a vine for the quality of the fruit. So basically, we did drop some fruit on the ground probably in August, and if you take this vine, for example, it has X amount of energy. If we have, right now we have about, 20 clusters on it. If we had 50 clusters, then the energy of the vine is distributed equally in those 50,
Right.
giving it less energy per cluster. So by trimming or fruit thinning the fruit off, we're trying to focus the vine's energy into these single clusters or double clusters per spur.
So it gives it more flavor, more intensity.
Yeah, exactly. We get to a point of the year where we have a really nice mature grape, and it's not November. Here for sure, this is the strategy that we have to use to ensure that the quality of the grape is there for harvest, and thus the quality of the wine.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the BC Wine Show. I'm Marnie Martin, and I'm up at Crescent Hill Winery on the beautiful Skaha Bench in Penticton, BC, and we are going to be sampling some wine from Crescent Hill. And I'm so lucky because I have the winemaker Erich Smith-Peter with me today, and Tysha Pope, who's a co-owner. Her grandfather actually started the winery years and years ago, back in the 70s, and tell us a little bit about how that started.
Well, I always say I have the coolest family history because my grandpa was the first full European vineyard here in Penticton. He handpicked all of our vines from all over Europe, smuggled them back in his suitcase, planted the first vineyard, and then decided, I don't want to be told what to do. So he never did anything legally. He then started bootlegging and selling everybody his grape juice.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great story. And it's evolved today to this beautiful award-winning winery. And so we've got some great product to try. So let's, you decide which one we should start with today.
Up first, let's do our I Am Diva.
Okay.
So this is a Frizzante Gewürztraminer.
This is one of my favorites, by the way. It is beautiful and has that really nice teeny tiny bubbles to it, but it's also got a really nice dry finish. So tell us how you make that.
So this is previous to my arrival. This Gewürztraminer is going to be estate grown, only from this vineyard here at Crescent Hill Winery. It's a forest carbonation barley. That's what we call it, a Frizzante style.
Okay.
And it's basically from the vineyard that you saw, the Gewürztraminer that you were walking through previously, or maybe on the show, we'll see it later. We have 40-plus-year-old vines. So it gives us a lot more of that floral and spiciness to it. Gewürz is spicy in German.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a varietal that originated from Savagnin and Tremin. Tremin is northern Italy, and they made a Gewürztraminer out of it. So it's a spicy Tremin.
Spicy Traminer. I have read that, and that's really interesting. It's so yummy. I say this is I love the name, and I love all the labels at Crescent Hill are done by a local artist named Janice Blythe, and she has this really whimsical style about the way she creates the labels. And so this one's a perfect wine for girlfriend weekends, for stagette parties, for beautiful brunches, and just for sipping with somebody you love anytime. Cheers to that.
I like how light
Can't
this
go
is.
wrong with bubbles.
No.
It's really good with soft sheet cheeses as well. Lots of more brightness to this. So
Yeah.
nuts and something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have this with sushi too. So good. Awesome. Okay, so what's next, Tysha? What else do we have to try? I know you have another bubbly that I think we should try. I guess that's what we're going to do.
So this is our Vendetta, which is a sparkling Verdelet. Quick story about Verdelet. It was one of the major victims of the grape pullout that they had here in the Okanagan. So that's when California and BC had this arrangement. Whatever California said, BC had to pull out and plant all Californian clones. So Verdelet is a French hybrid grape, and it was deemed unworthy and had to go. So everybody pulled out their grapes, but everybody, knowing my grandpa, because he was the guy, said, "Hey Glenn, we just pulled out all of our Verdelet. It's just lying here." So Grandpa went around and did truckload after truckload, taking out the vines off the side of the road, and he saved 5 rows worth. And we know we have the only 5 rows of Verdelet left in BC, and we're pretty sure we might have the only 5 rows of Verdelet left in Canada.
Wow.
So this is something really special to my heart. And we've named it Vendetta because, you know, she's got a vendetta.
There you go. I love it. That's a great story. And now this one we're going to try is actually your vintage, am I correct?
Yes, exactly. So this is the first year I got here. We bottled this, I think, in May, so it should be fine. It's once again, it's estate grapes, Verdelet, 100%. Goes to the Vendetta. It's 100% as well. Stainless steel, fermented, very cold, slow fermentation. We try to do minimal intervention here, so the yeast that we have actually give a minimal addition of flavors. We're trying to keep it about the grape. And yeah, first carbonation is going to give you some nice, beautiful bubbles. And once again, this is, to me, bright candy, kind of.
Oh, that's got a beautiful nose.
There's a lot of apples when you're fermenting this that come out, and pears.
I also definitely that gorgeous lemon, honey lemon on the nose. For
Wow,
sure.
yeah, that citrus is very predominant. It's really lovely. And the thing that's wonderful about this wine is it actually won a gold medal at the All Canadian Wine Competition this year, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. That's a beautiful wine. What would you pair that with?
A second class.
I think that's the best answer I've heard all day. I love that. Don't have to ask me twice.
Being really good.
I want to share my 2019 vintage of Glen Allen, which is our private reserve Gewürztraminer, which is named after my grandpa because the Gewürz was his absolute favorite varietal. These were the first grapes he brought back from the River Rhine in Germany, and this just reminds me so much of him, and I got a big hand in helping make this vintage this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah, so before bottling and blending and all this, we do panel testing throughout a group of people, which Tysha, me, Leo, Teresa, everybody that works here.
Close by.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I lived closer. I'd like to be part of that.
Well, we would definitely enjoy your input.
Yes. So this is something I fought for, and I'm glad I did. It's beautiful. And it reminds me so much of my grandfather. This is what I remember having sips of when I was younger.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I love this wine. One of your previous vintages won actually Best White Wine in Canada, the All Canadian Wine Competition. And that particular one I found to be so beautiful, middle of the lane for what you expect a Gewürztraminer to taste like. So I'll be really curious to taste this wine and see how it compares.
Well, once again, this is 100% estate grapes. This is our 45-year-old Vines Plus, and this is a block of Gewürztraminer that I chose specifically to make it Glen private reserve because of the quality of the fruit.
Nice.
Okay, so we do once again 100% cold fermentation, very slow and long fermentation, and 100% stainless steel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. And this is beautiful. Still has those really beautiful floral characteristics. Lots of that lychee and a little bit of rose petal going on.
And it does have a nice spicy finish in the end.
Apparently Fergie wants to be a part of this.
Yes, this is Fergie's cameo appearance at the BC Wine Show, and she's so excited she just had to make her presents known.
And kisses. So now she's happy because she wants to be on camera, and that is why she's Fergie. She's Fergalicious.
And on a lot of the labels, you actually have dogs because that's part of what you do here also, right? So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
So there are family pets, and each one's on the label for different reasons. So going back to the Vendetta, there's actually a picture of my little pug Lulu, who was born with a cleft palate. So she's my warrior pug.
Okay.
So she's a little survivor, just like those Bertollet grapes.
Awesome. That's a good story too. I like it.
That's really nice.
So next we have is our beautiful white blend Island Girl. This one, if you've noticed, the artwork's a little bit different. So this one was actually painted by my incredibly talented husband. And
Wow.
the poor guy, he gets the jobs that nobody else wants.
I think that's a pretty good job myself, but
So this is, again, a beautiful 3-white blend. You get lovely notes of mangoes and pineapples. It just is a beautiful
yeah.
wine just to sit in a hot tub, bathtub, some candles, and relax with.
Absolutely. And Island Girl is really special to me because I actually live over on Vancouver Island and do my work over there. So I get to have a little bit of allocation of this over there for me because, of course, we're all Island Girls over there. So it's very special. So cheers.
Cheers.
This one is beautiful and floral. It just kind of transports you to a tropical island. It's very,
Lots of
very
tropical fruits, lots of savory honey notes or honeysuckle. Yeah, for sure. Citrus, roses,
so yummy.
rose petals. This is the only white blend that we do here at Crescent Winery. It's a Chardonnay, Gewürz, and Riesling blend. 100% cold this fermentation, once again, in stainless steel.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's so good. You're right. You don't need to pair that with any food. Just a really good hot tub would be great, right?
We do Alfredo pasta.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Spicy mango salsa
Oh,
and like pork like a taco with like the fresh mango salsa.
absolutely. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Tip of the day. There you go, people. If you're buying this wine, have yourself some tacos. All right, so we're going to move on to some red, I think, now. And I'm excited. This is a brand new one for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, so this is our beautiful Mad Medusa Merlot. Again, another incredible painting by my talented husband, Carson. So Medusa has a couple of meanings for us. One, it was one of the nicknames my mom's older brothers gave her,
Oh,
along with a previous version of what we had, which was Sea Hag that we were sold out. So keeping in that tradition, Mom likes to name all of her reds after names her brother gave her.
Okay, well, keep it in the family, I say, right? Thank you.
So this is a beautiful 2017 Merlot. She's been aged 18 months, half in French oak, half in American oak. Beautiful berries and plums on top into that gorgeous vanilla, and you should get hints of chocolate and coffee, and ends on such a beautiful violet note.
What I like,
Yeah, really nice complexity.
what I like about this wine is the smoothness of it. It's very soft. There's nothing attacking your mouth. It all just goes on. It's very, very harmonious till the very finish. And there's some little tricks done to this Merlot to get a little bit of a middle palate.
Okay.
There you go.
I can really taste those sort of butterscotch and vanilla notes in there. It's delicious.
Now this would be really good with anything on the barbecue or roasted chicken with some maybe stronger sauce on it, something like garlic, butter, rosemary, or something to
Something
come get the
savory.
herbaceous notes.
Yes, for sure, you do, absolutely.
Ooh, balsamic glaze.
Yes, for sure, that would be amazing. Or something with some beautiful chanterelle mushrooms, maybe.
Yeah, it's central season. I have some right now.
Do ya?
Yeah, we had some with Teresa. Also, one thing that I really love to make is bœuf bourguignon, or soup
Oh,
and that would be
yes.
amazing with that as well.
For sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, thank you guys for having me here today. It's been such a pleasure. Of course, we work closely together, but there's just so many wonderful things that we learn when we get to actually talk to the people who make the wine and love the wine and grow the grapes and tend the vines, and it's always very special to see where the people do what they love. So I'm always really grateful to get a chance to take the show on the road, and I really appreciate you joining us today for this edition of the BC Wine Show. Cheers, and we'll see you next time. See ya! Now, I'd love to hear from you. If you have a question for a future guest or a comment, please put it in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and the big red subscribe button right down below. Thanks for joining us today on the BC Wine Show, and until next time, stay well, be kind, and enjoy responsibly.